Hi everyone, this is Jay Johnson with dailytexture.com. It's been a while since I've done one of the In the Digital Studio videos. I was pretty ambitious when I announced those and said I was going to do one once a week. But then the season changed for me here to get out and photograph. So this is my busiest time of the year for getting out and photographing the wildlife before we get our regular Tennessee icy, yucky weather. And so I really haven't been able to do many of these videos. But I got this picture yesterday when I was at Shiloh, and it is the sweetest picture. And I thought, I have got to turn this into art today. So this is the picture we're going to be working with today, or I will be working with. This is a sweet baby buck and his mama. And she was just giving him little kisses all over, cleaning him up good. And I thought, I've already thought of the title for this. Usually I don't think of a title until after I finish a piece. But I thought of a title for this. I'm going to call it A Mother's Love. And this is just a super sweet image. And I just don't know which direction I want to go with it. So I decided to do a In the Digital Studio, which is where I just decide on the fly what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go to one of the texture files. I was thinking of maybe a winter one, and I like to try to pull my folder over so I can kind of gauge what I want to do. There's a lot of background stuff going on here, even though it's slightly blurred out. We have this big block of tree right behind their heads, tree sticking out over here. I'd like to kind of tone that down and bring the focus right into them. And so I'm trying to find a background which may do that. I was thinking of a winter scene and maybe adding some snow. I was also thinking of, and I'll find it here, if I didn't want to go winter, maybe one of these floral fields may work, because the way their bodies are cropped, you can see that there on the fawn, they could be standing in a field, and the field could hide this area down here. However, then she's cut off over here. So unless I had her off the side of this, that may or may not work. I could try one and see. If I didn't want to go winter, which one of these would I do with these deer? Let's just look through them real quick and do a little preview. See, they're kind of blurred out on the side over here. So that's something to keep in mind, because her body is real sharp over here, unless I was going to blur her out. I'd have to have her off the side, otherwise there'd be half of her body missing, which wouldn't look right. So I might want something that is sharper edge to edge, or where I can keep her sharpness the same. And I also want the perspective to be right. Now these poppies are sharper on the side. Let me pull that one open and just do a quick little test. That was number 10. The perspective may not be right. I'm just going to lower the opacity and kind of see. Now the perspective is not going to be right on that. I don't know if the floral fields will work for this one. It would be better for those if I had more of a full body, like had some legs showing or had more of her showing off to the side, where I could position them maybe further back in the floral field. But with her body being cut off right here, I pretty much need to keep her right here. Otherwise, it'll look stupid. So I'll go back to my possibly original idea using the Winter Impressions textures. I saw one in here that looked kind of nice, where I could possibly add some snow. Like I said, I want to simplify the background and don't want a whole lot going on. Maybe this one, once again, number 10, seems to be the lucky number. Let me try this one. I'm going to move them to the top, and I'm going to mask away their background. I'm in Topaz Photo FX Lab, like usual. I'd like to try to keep these little whiskers. I don't know if I can. I'm going to move the Edgeware tool all the way to the right and make a smaller brush size here and see if I can get in there. See if it'll pick up those whiskers. Not really. So skip the Edgeware. It's not going to, well, it may pick them up on this one. Maybe if I go a little smaller on the brush. I have something running, slowing down my computer. Why is this not picking up the Edgeware? It's just not enough contrast, I guess. But I can use that to go around their ears, I think. Now there's picking it up good because there's enough contrast in those areas. So I'll just go around the parts I can. If I lose the whiskers, I lose them, or I could bring them back gently, which is probably what's going to happen. I'm just going to go around the edges and try to keep the little furs pieces that are sticking out kind of there. It's not really necessary for the way I work. But, you know, if there's little cute little fur pieces sticking out, it just makes it really nice. She's got a leaf right here in front of her. I don't know if I want to go over that or not. I maybe need to go back. Bring that one back. Maybe get in a little tighter right there. Around this one's ears. Since there is some color in this texture that matches the color of the original background, I may be able to bring back some of those whiskers. Let's see if I will pick up around the eyelashes. Now, I did good around that eyelash to have that Edgeware on. You really need some good contrast for the Edgeware to work. And go around this ear and try to get around this eye. There we go. Okay, now I've gone around their edges. I'm going to put the Edgeware back to the left, which means it's not going to pick up on the edges. I'm going with a bigger brush and get rid of the rest of this stuff real quickly. See where I'm at. Just kind of want to know the positioning, if this texture will work. I have a feeling it might. Get rid of all of this. Really quickly. Don't have a lot of time. I've got several things going on this week, and I just found out I have a deadline to meet by Friday on something. So, unfortunately, that cuts into my creative time for creating new art. That's looking pretty good. At this point, I'm going to see around these whisker areas right here and right here if I can softly bring some of that back. I'm going to lower my flow, which is like opacity, go the other direction with a big brush, lower that flow a little more, and just gently tap, just so you could see a hint of that they're there without showing those trees in the background. It's just bringing back a little bit of them, and around the eye too, right there, because they have some little whiskers that peek out. And it's just very, very subtle. And then down here, I want to bring back some of this because of that leaf sticking out. Just looks like it's too harsh of a transition. Okay, now I'm going to go. I don't know what is slowing this computer down, but something is slowing this down today. See, everything seems to be a little choppy unless I'm hitting my tablet wrong or something. I'm going to go back the other way with a If I can get this to work, a little bit slower brush, lower brush, still a low flow. And I'm going to mask away their edges to blend them more into the background, just so things aren't quite so sharp on certain edges. Still want to keep those whiskers though. Just helps to bring it in a little tighter right here with a smaller brush. So I'm taking away with a little bigger brush now, just gently tapping to fade them into the background. A little bit more. Try to fade this here around this bottom edge. Maybe even all the way down right here where her edging is. I'll probably end up bringing some of that back because it's a little too faded. This is a back and forth process until I get it looking the way I want. Get this right here, fade it in. Then go back the other way. Said I was going to bring some of this back because of that leaf right there. Bring some of this leg back right here. A little bit of this. A little bit of her back. I think I got too much of her back removed. There we go. And see about right here where these whiskers are. I don't want to bring the tree back. Now I'm going to go back the other way. There. So you can see a little bit of the whiskers. That looks really cute. Now I've got to decide where I want to go from here. Let me see. The light is coming in on this the deer right here, so it's coming from behind me pretty much. Let's see if I got anything that I can play with lighting with that might work. I really like the Dreamy Skies collection for adding just the right amount of light or color where I want it because they're so soft. Oh, here's a blue one. Let's try this one in a different layer mode. And that's hard light. Takes away some of the golden tones. Adds a little softness overall, but I want them to stay sharp. So let me try this one. Not liking that either. I can also see on my mask here I have a couple of spots I want to fix. So let me go back to my mask. I need to mask away. Somewhere up in here, there's a spot. Somewhere over here, there's a spot. Somewhere up here. Oops, too much. I don't know why my computer is running so choppy. I probably have something going on other than that backup that I'm running that is making it choppy. Nope, that's too much. There. I have a little darkness here around his face. I want to tone that down just a little. It's like painting. Alright, now to decide where to go. I really thought the Dreamy Skies would work with this one. Maybe I just hadn't hit on the right one. I'm just not hitting on the right thing. So I'm thinking go to one of the other winter collections. See if any of these might add something. This is kind of nice. 11 has those real nice vintage tones. Might not work for this. I kind of like this. I like how it's softening right here, kind of making it look like it's in a fog. But I don't like it on this deer's face, so I can always mask that off. It's also changing their color tones a little bit, so I'm not sure if I like that, but I think I'm on the right track. How about this one? This has some nice cloudy looking parts to it right there. So let's go with hard light. Multiplies too dark. That's shifting the light a little bit. But I'm not sure if I like that either. But I do like how it's kind of softened this. This is before and this is after. So what I may do is take it off the top. Let me see about masking the top part of this away. How that would work with a great big brush. And go right across their faces, leaving it on the bottom. Before, after. So that gives it a nice little foggy look there. Maybe it doesn't need to be that strong. Maybe about 70%. Just a little bit of a fog there that I like. All right, let me see what else I can find to do to this. Now this is the Winter Collection 1, which has the snow in it, which I may end up using too. Let me try number 6 on top and see what it does. Now that creates some interesting effect right here. Don't like what it's doing here. Don't like the color tone change. Anytime you don't like a color tone change, but you like the effect, just take your saturation down. Like that. And you can take it down partially or all the way. When you take it down all the way, it leaves the effect, but takes out the coloring. Now, I don't like it on this deer, but I really like what it's done here. I don't know. For some reason, that just appeals to me. Let me mask away some off the deer. Smaller brush. One I can actually manipulate would be nice. Take it off of this deer and the ear. And I'll go back and fix this. Keep their faces bright. That little tongue. So you can see how it's really darkened this one up. It's darkened this one too, but not as much. Before, after. See how that shifted the light? Created some interest in the background. Changed their fur tones, which I'm taking it off right now, off of the deer, but I will probably bring back some of it at a lower opacity. Just taking it all off right now so I can see where I'm at. There's a piece here somewhere. There's a piece here. Then I'm going to go back the other way. Lower the brush, get in tight right here. Yeah, I'm going to bring it back, but at a lower opacity. Just to darken along the bottom. Just very gradually. Get back here. Around the edge of her. Go around the nose a little. So that's before. And that's after. And I really like that. I've got a little bit too much here showing, so I'm going back to the deer layer. And I'm going to mask away. Just fog that up a little bit more, even though there's that leaf there. Maybe I don't need to show that leaf, but I do need to show the legs. So that's why I was choosing to leave it in there in the first place. Okay. Turning them on and off to see what I like. I really like this one. I wonder if duplicating this, well, I could raise it up to be a little stronger. No, I think 70 was good. I do need to get some of it, I think, off of the tail. So I need to go back the other way. Now, that's a little better. Okay, that looks kind of cool. But it would be more interesting if we had some snow. So let's give them some snow. Let's start with the one with the most snow, the jumbo one. And I'm going to set these to screen mode. Isn't that sweet? Now I'm going to go get the next snow, which is the large. I'm going to set that to screen mode. Now, that's cute too. This has bigger flakes. And I've decided it would be cute to have a little snowflake right here on the tongue, like she's licking it off of the fawn. So I'm going to maneuver this around. Let me try to scale it up just a little and move maybe that one of these snowflakes right there, right at the edge of her tongue, as if she's licking it off. Let's play with the opacity on that. Okay, I'm going to mask some of these big flakes off the deer in the areas I don't want the flakes. So on that layer, I'm going to make a small brush. I'm going to take away that flake, tone down that one right there by her ear. This one, get it off her eye. Get it out of the middle of her nose. I don't like that one right there on the bottom. Tone down some of these around the eye. And some of these underneath the neck. Because if snow's falling on top of her, it really wouldn't be hitting under her neck, not the big flakes. Tone down some of those. And then go over here to this deer. Get that snowflake off the eye. Just because I don't like the eye to be blocked with a big snowflake. Might put some little ones there. I like the little snowflake on the tips of the ears. Get it out of the middle. Get this one away from the face just because it's distracting me. So that's before and that's after. I'm going to get rid of some more on this nose right there. And I'll turn it on and off a lot to see where I want to get rid of snowflakes from, where they look too obtrusive. That's the nice thing about the snowflakes. You can just erase one snowflake at a time. Get rid of some of these big ones right here. I think he's got one on his eyebrow. Yeah, got rid of that. Get rid of this one in the middle. Just tone them down a little. Spread them out a little more. And this one right by the ear. Okay, now that looks pretty cute, but I want more little ones. So I'm going to duplicate the jumbo one. As you can see, that put more on top. I'm going to move this one under the deer layer down here. So those aren't even on top of the deer. They're behind them. So that's before, after. It just creates a little bit more snow in the background. The big ones may be too much snowflakes still. So I might take away on that layer some more of those big ones. And decide, look at each deer, decide where they need to go from. She's got a whole line of them right there on her face. She doesn't need that many. Maybe even take away some of these from the background that are a little bit too much. Get under here, take away some of those. Down here at the bottom of this deer, this one by the tail, this one by this tail. Leave a couple on the back. Take away that one. Tone this down. I'll just go through here and pick out ones that I just want to remove. So it's not quite so many big flakes. You see my little mask here? It looks like a bunch of snow itself. There's one right here. That one there doesn't need to be there. I don't like this one on her lip. I like the one at the tip of the tongue. These maybe can be toned down right here under the neckline. Because you've got to think about how it's falling and what's going to be blocking it. His face is turned this way, so this side might be blocked. Bigger, wouldn't have as many big flakes right there or down here at the bottom. But they'd have some along the top edge of their bodies. This one right here is bugging me. I don't like that one there. And I don't like this one. And I'll do this. I'll turn them on and off. And take away some or parts of some I don't like. I think that looks a little better. I'm going to bring in one of the other ones, the medium ones, on top. These are a little bit smaller. That may be too much. Yeah, that's a little too much. How about the small? Just a few flakes. I'm setting all of these on screen mode. That may be too much too. I'm going to take that one off. I'm going to duplicate the jumbo one again and put it on top. And maybe flip it. Just to change the direction. Maybe lower the opacity. I actually like it in the background what it's doing, but I don't like what it's doing on them. So I'm going to do what I did with the other one. And I'm going to bring it down under the deer. So now it's totally in the background, but not on their faces. All right, that looks really sweet. I'm going to merge all of these at this point. Oh, by the way, I had already edited this deer photo. That's why I haven't done any editing on the deer layer other than the masking, because I'd already edited the photo. Thankfully, it didn't need much editing. It was pretty good straight from the camera. Lucky shot yesterday. now that I'm merging it, or have merged it, I'm looking at this flake by the tongue, and it may be a little big, maybe a little too much. So I'm going to delete what I merged. I'm going to go back to that large snow layer right there and see if I can tone down just that one snowflake. If not, I'll replace it with another snowflake. I'm going to try to mask it away just a little bit where it makes it a little smaller. I might bring back just a tiny bit of it right here. There we go. And then kind of cut down on that edge right there, just so it's not quite so big. Now let's see. That looks better, I think. Okay, now I'm going to merge it. Thank goodness for an undo button and layers. Okay, now it's merged and I need to decide if I want to do anything else to it. I could play with some more lighting and see what I might could get. I like the illumination collection, but there's a lot of gold tones in there. I mean, this is a wintry scene. I'd like it to be more blue. I think those may be a little too busy for this. Let's go back to the Dreamy Skies. I like the light this one has. It's coming right down to where they're at, but it may be a little too much. That's soft light. This is before. This is after. It makes things a little too golden. Nah, skip that. Alright, rather than adding another texture, I think I'll go to lens effects and mess around. I might want to darken this bottom edge a little. And for that, I'd use a graduated neutral density, and I would choose how much of the bottom area I wanted to darken. That's before, that's after. Because whatever's down here is going to be darker than what's up here. And if it's real bright, like it is right now, it may not look right. So by darkening that, and I can decide, obviously that's too dark. That may even be a little too dark. But this one may be just enough. Or, if I didn't want to do that, I could do some fog. There's ground fog adjustments. Of course, those are taking away too much of the deer, but you can adjust these how you want. I like the idea of the darkening better. So I'm going to go with that one, bottom quarter, one stop. Just darken that just a little bit along that bottom edge, and I'm going to click OK, which is off the screen. There. Just gives it a little bit more depth down there. I don't really think I need any more light up here. I think this is looking pretty good because the light looks like it's coming directly in from right here to their faces, which it was. So I don't need angling light. It's already there with the deer. They've got the right light on them. I like to zoom out at this point and decide if I like what I've done. And I like that a lot. I like it so much I'll probably stop right there with that. But I do want to bring the original back up to the top. And I'm going to reset the mask on that original layer so you can see this is what I started with. And now this is what I have. A winter scene from well, I mean, it's winter here, but we have no snow. Tennessee, my part of Tennessee is rare for snow. So I love to be able to give my animals some snow. And that looks really cute. So I'm going to stop right there with this one. That is the end of today's In the Digital Studio, and I hope you liked this image, which I said I was going to call Mother's Love, and I think I'm still going to call it that. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.